In this video, I want us to have a look at a post shared out by Miguna Miguna through his X account a few hours ago. The post is going to inform the basis of our analysis right now. Dr. Miguna Miguna, I have strongly and consistently advised the Kenya Kwanza government and President William Ruto to stop fighting, antagonizing, and threatening the judiciary. Instead, I have advised the principles of good governance, compel them to always act within the constraints imposed by the Constitution, the rule of law, and democracy. If they fail to do so, they will continue to suffer major setbacks in the courts. It is so advised. That's a post shared out by Miguna Miguna a few hours ago. And even before we dig deep into that post, Miguna is already lying here. He has been praising and cheering up William Ruto as William Ruto rapes the Constitution. It's only recently that he seems to be changing his strategy, and that brings us to the big question. Is Miguna Miguna cutting links with William Ruto? I want us to answer that question for Kenyans to understand what's going on behind the scenes, and if Miguna is cutting links with William Ruto, the reasons why he's doing that. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's proceed. Ever since William Ruto was sworn in as the president, he has been breaking the law. And I still remember during the demonstrations, it's very clear the police were acting extrajudicially. Miguna Miguna was silent, and in fact he was praising and cheering up William Ruto as Ruto killed innocent Kenyans in Nyanza. So it's only recently that it might be possible Miguna has gotten a Damascus moment. Nonetheless, what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? Power do attracts, but I find it very ironical that instead of William Ruto's power attracting, Kenyans and leaders are running away from him. And that's very interesting. Upon William Ruto being sworn in, Ruto was attracting. That's why we were seeing leaders joining him in large numbers. And even Kenyans had started saying that sasa huyu kumtoa 2027 itakuwa ngumu. That's how Kenyans reacted upon William Ruto being sworn in as the president. In just 1 year and some months, Kenyans are even seeing a possibility of William Ruto not reaching 2027. And some Kenyans are even saying that if he reaches that 2027, then irrespective of the formula he will use, he will not win that election. He will fail miserably. And that goes contrary to what the same Kenyans were saying months back. And I'm also one person who strongly believes that irrespective of which formula Ruto will use, he will not win any election in Kenya. The man has just become very, very unpopular. So is Miguna cutting links with him? I'm seeing a Miguna who is realizing he's getting a raw deal from Ruto. Miguna came from Canada and he had very high hopes over William Ruto's presidency, to a point he thought Ruto was even going to appoint him in his government. But if you look at the kind of appointments Ruto is making, strong characters such as Miguna cannot be given jobs by William Ruto. Ruto prefers individuals such as Aisha Juma, Linturi. Those are the individuals Ruto prefers giving jobs. I don't think the likes of Miguna can get any jobs from William Ruto. So it might be possible and highly possible that Miguna has laid out a strategy where he wants to start attacking William Ruto in bits, upon which he'll just break ranks with William Ruto. And it's not going to go full throttle because Miguna is still optimistic that he might get something from Ruto's government. He might still be appointed in the government. But as it will become apparent to Miguna that Ruto is not giving him any job, then we'll see a full-blown war between William Ruto and Miguna Miguna. And Miguna is coming out to me clearly as another tumbocrat. Somebody who can actually sell his birthright for a plate of ugali. Kenyans want change. Miguna has been on the forefront advocating for change. Upon William Ruto coming to power, with all the full knowledge that Ruto was not fit holding a public office, with the full knowledge of Miguna Miguna that Ruto started his politics with YK92, with the full knowledge that in 2007, Ruto was adversely mentioned and eventually taken to Hague, Miguna has been supporting a William Ruto's government. So he threw his change crusade and decided to join hands with a leader who clearly is not fit holding a public office. Right now, he seems to be coming back to his senses, and he's coming back to his senses because he's realizing nobody's giving him any job in Kenya Kwanza government. And also, if you look at Ruto's regime, most leaders are dumping him. We saw members of parliament pledging their loyalty to him. In the recent days, they've made a U-turn. They are now going back to the opposition. So it appears Ruto is only listening to himself. He's not listening to anybody. He's not advisable. He's not teachable. He's somebody you can't teach anything. You can't advise anything. So Ruto is not just teachable. He's too full of himself a point. He sees that nobody can give him any advice. And that can explain why we are in this serious economic mess, because Ruto wants to dominate everything. And as I talk, he's also trying to dominate the judiciary. He wants to capture the judiciary. Already parliament is in his pockets, so he's very desperate to capture the judiciary. Ruto wants to install himself as an imperial president. Whether he will succeed or not, it's only time that will tell. But from where I sit, Ruto will fail miserably. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Those watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. The post by Miguna Miguna confirms he might be cutting links with William Ruto, but he does not want to go full throttle because he's still optimistic that Ruto might give him a job in Kenya Kwanza government. By the time he will wake up to realize he's not being given any job in Kenya Kwanza, we will see a full-blown fight. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.
Meru amezomewa na wananchi kwa sababu kazi imemshinda. Anasema ati ni nyinyi wana ODM mmetuma watu Meru. Jameni, sisi tuko hapa Taita Taveta na baba, wewe unazomewa kwa sababu kazi imekushinda. Mwambieni Taita Taveta, kazi ikikushinda unashuka. Zakayo ashuke asishuke? Zakayo ashuke asishuke? Kazi imemshinda haijamshinda? Awachie wataalamu kina baba waendeshe nchi hapa. Asante sana. Haya, nataka
kuna Kiswahili ilikuwa anasema tunaanza bottom up. Tunaanza kwa mtu ya chini. Kwa nini hatuwezi kuanza kwa mtu ya chini kama makabuni kuja aanzie kwa upukaji wenye iko na mampuko, alafu aelewe mambo ya mchangazi.